AOC, whoa, she loses her bid to become top oversight Dem. Who in their right mind would let this lady ever run anything? I suppose her constituents, since they voted her in again, which blew my mind. She's a bartender. I'm not saying a bartender cannot be in Congress. It's not what I'm saying. She's just bat bleep crazy. She's off her rocker. She's gone. She's far out there. She's more conscious than Joe, but not by much. She's just a girl with a pretty face, but this ain't working. A high-profile member of the left, they call it the squad, lost her bid to become the top Democrat on the powerful House Oversight Committee in the next session of Congress. Thank the Lord. Because I really enjoy watching C-SPAN, specifically the House Oversight Committee. I know that's weird. I know people put that on at night to go to sleep, but I enjoy it. Democrats chose Jerry Conley, who was reportedly backed by former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, to become the ranking member of the panel that will remain in GOP control next year. Now, if you recall, Nancy Pelosi fell down a flight of stairs. God, who did that sound like? Joey. And she broke a hip. So now we have old Nancy from California and we got old Joey both falling down and upstairs. The final tally on Tuesday was reportedly 131 votes for Conley and 84 votes for AOC. Isn't that insane that 84 people thought that she would be good? I haven't read this yet. I really thought it was going to be like a lower number, like single digits, like just her squad voting for her. I keep saying this. Democrats have gone so far left, they're a shell of who they used to be. Why not just rebrand yourself and call yourself the Progressive Party? I understand that they don't want to create more parties, because if they create more parties, well, people are going to stay Democrat because that's who they are. But the Democrat Party is not Democrat anymore. That's what I don't understand. You're just sitting there masquerading as Democrats. You're not a Democrat. I thank my colleagues for their support and the confidence they've placed in me to lead House Democrats on the Oversight Committee, Conley said. Oh, okay. AOC, currently the ranking vice member of the Oversight Committee, that's how scary that is, had sought to move up amid reports of a push within the Democratic Party to allow younger members to lead committees. Another thing here with AOC, I guess we're going from talking about one crazy to talking about another crazy. Sunny Houston claims AOC is not far left, and then what does she do? She comes out and lists. Sunny Houston claims AOC is not far left, and then what does she do? She comes out and lists the far left policies she supports. Sunny Houston claimed Wednesday that the self-described Democratic socialist, it's amazing, socialist, but Democrat. But no, guys, it's Democratic socialist. That's what it is. Yeah, it's safe now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, socialism is good if you just put the word Democrat next to it. It makes a difference. It doesn't. I'm being facetious. Still a socialist. AOC was not actually as far left as Republicans say, but the evidence she offered made the opposite of her intended point. The sheer fact that she talked about the Green New Deal, where you would have to replace everything, and there's not enough money on this planet, I mean that in all literal sense, to do it, I would say it's pretty far left, pretty crazy, and socialism drives countries into the ground. So she wanted to set the record straight here. It's a pretty damn crooked record, if you ask me, where she wants to set the record straight that AOC is not too progressive, far left person the right has demonized. Oh, we demonized her. Okay. Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I will say is about AOC, she has been demonized by the right, and she's been demonized as this like too progressive, far left person. And I want to try to set the record straight, because if she is too progressive, then the Democrats really are going to lose the working class, because this is her platform.
It's happening.
The key issues: healthcare for all people, affordable housing, rebuild the unions, federal job guarantee, free public college, create clean energy jobs, pay parental leave, and expand protections for the LGBTQ+ community. If that is too progressive for this country, then that's a problem for the Democrats. And
But
that's a problem, quite frankly, for this
position.
country.
Oh, it's a problem for this country. It's not done yet. We still have more of the view here. So it goes on where Miss Griffin, I call her a rhino. She's allegedly a Republican, but doesn't act like one, actually calls out how AOC's Green New Deal would be catastrophic for the economy. Yeah, anybody with half a brain, but if you go on the view, that brain somehow has to be taken out of your head when you step on foot onto the stage there.
Description of a liberal.
Well, but the devils
Medicare,
are also
healthcare for all should be an everybody issue.
But
okay?
the devil's in the details, because a lot of this country does not support, for example, the Green New Deal, which would absolutely crush jobs across this country, wreak havoc
It would
on the
create
economy.
millions of jobs, actually.
It would actually make international travel virtually impossible to do because of some of the regulations that have been in place. Universal health care. You should have, of course, anyone who needs emergency coverage, people should have catastrophic coverage, but most Americans think they want to have some choice and optionality in their health care. There's a reason Obamacare did not have the public option. That's not where the majority of the country is. I would argue that AOC is definitely too left for the majority of the country.
Oh, I would say so. Yeah. When you start wanting to remove transportation, all gas-powered vehicles, all coal and plants that burn fossil fuels, I would say that's a pretty big problem. Yeah, I would say it's pretty far left. When you sit there and say bread lines are good, that's coming from Bernie Sanders, I would say you're off your rocker. And guess who's in cahoots with a lot of things that Bernie Sanders does? AOC. Oh, let's just replace every building. Yeah. I've always said this, and I will continue to say it unless something changes. Democrats come up with an idea. It's typical. Not just Republicans do this as well. Let's just lump everybody in together. People come up with ideas. Great New Deal. We're going to take down the buildings and get rid of every gas-powered vehicle in the world. And then they just try to go do it. There's no, okay, let's pause. Hold on a second and go, what's the outgrowths of this? Like, what's the short term, long terms, the pros and cons? Like, what are all the variables that go into that decision before you actually start acting on it? People say crazy crap all the time, but they don't think what is going to happen if I do this? The question I've always asked is, well, there's a lot of them, truthfully, whenever something gets implemented, but one of the ones I tend to ask first, I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat, how does it limit the liberties of my fellow countrymen? That's the question I ask for any law, any bill. How does it limit the liberties of my fellow countrymen and women? You women are lumped into the men, though you understand. We're not leftists here. We get it. We don't have to sit there and explain ourselves. Forgive me. But that's what they do. They just shout ideas out to the sky, and then they act on them with going, hey, maybe we should think about this. Well, Brad, you have like an example off the top of your head? Yeah. Sending out trillions of dollars of COVID money, stimulus money, without thinking the long-term ramifications of it. Kathy Hochul just came out. She goes, I'm going to give everybody $300 to help fight inflation. It's an idea. Did not think about any sort of outgrowths, consequences, variables, the outcomes of what may happen with that. Maybe a few. It's pretty hard not to. It just goes, acts on it. And then comes out with a very stupid thing. Oh, I'm going to help stop inflation. You heard the same thing from Joey.